Alrighty, today I'm going to make some pickled peppers. And all I'm going to do, I don't have enough to fill a whole quart jar of sliced peppers. So I'm just going to do whole peppers, because I can always slice them later. And I'm just going to come and poke a hole on each side right under the cap. And that's all I'm going to do. And then I'm going to make my 3% salt brine and set them aside with their fermentation lid. Now these are shishitos. These other ones are jalapenos. These are shishitos. And like I would normally separate sweet peppers and hot peppers, but I'm kind of like, you know, there isn't enough of any one thing. And the reason I'm giving them a poke is so that the brine will penetrate to the inside and faster. Now these are my yellow jalapenos, lemon spice. And do I know what I'm doing? Not really. I don't think I've ever pickled peppers. Cucumbers, beets, eggs, but I don't think I've ever done peppers. So I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, which is how I work a lot of the time. Now some of these shishitos are kind of shriveling up, so I may just leave them. And I have some cayenne, but I'm not going to pickle those. I'm just going to leave them out to dry, so that I can make a kind of chili pepper cayenne powder. And we'll have that for if we need a little spice in something. The older I get, the less spicy I like my food, really. But sometimes I like a little bit. Not a huge amount. But a little bit is nice. I used to eat a lot of pickled jalapenos on my nachos and stuff, but I don't really even eat nachos much anymore. So, that shishito's all right. We're going to throw that in there. And then the thing about shishitos is they'll tell you that 1 in 10 peppers is spicy. I haven't had a spicy one yet. The first ones I've tried were just kind of like blah, little green peppers. They kind of remind me of, I'm trying to remember the name for them, little Italian pickled peppers, and I can't think of the name of it, darn it. Alrighty, I'm almost done, and then we're going to make some salt brine. Alright, so for pickling, short pickling, fermentation, we need a 3% brine, and that's roughly a tablespoon of salt to a cup of water. So I have 2 cups of water measured out. We might need a little bit more, we'll see. And today I'm going to use my pink Himalayan just for fun. They will tell you do not use iodized salt, so check your salt label. Make sure you didn't add, it doesn't have any iodine added to it. And then otherwise, pretty much any old salt is going to work. Except Veggie Salt. I don't know if they still make Veggie Salt. But Veggie Salt was popular back in the 70s and 80s. And it was a combination of dried ground vegetables and salt. So you got less salt at the table, but more flavor. That was the theory anyway. Anyway, we did kind of like it. And it was the only salt I had. And I made the mistake of using it in something. What was it? It might have been cheese. And the vegetable powder in there fed the yeasty beasties. And it just kind of like went... And it was moldy and gross in like 24 hours. It was awful. So don't use Veggie Salt. You want to use real salt. Sea salt, kosher salt, pink Himalayan, whatever other kind of salt you have that does not have iodine added to it. Just no veggie salt. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We're going to pour this in here. I don't really have a good weight to weight these guys down, though. So I am going to use all the salt. Oops. There is some salt that did not dissolve. So I'm going to pour some water back in. I'm going to stir it up some more. And so it's okay if it's like not totally dissolved. This goes in. We just need to get it in because it will finish dissolving. And some of that might be more minerals than actual sodium chloride because that's the pink Himalayan, has different minerals in it. Now, I gotta find something to weight this little guy down with. My little glass weight is in my other pickle jar, and I don't want to take it out of there, so let me go hunt something down. Okay, so I found a cute little jar. It fits right inside this big jar, and what I did is I filled it full of water and put the lid down really tight. You can, in a pinch, use a Ziploc bag or something like that, but in my experience, what happens is they end up getting a little hole, and then the plain water that's inside the plastic bag leaks into the ferment, dilutes the salt brine, overflows the jar, makes a big mess, and then things, if you don't catch it right away, things can spoil because the salt brine got diluted. So everything is now nice and under the brine. We don't really have lots of headspace, but that's okay. Sage and Stone, which I'll link to Heather's channel down below, has a whole fermentation playlist, and that's where I learned about these little guys. These are so cool. It's a flexible cap for your jar, fits a wide mouth canning jar, and it has a one-way valve. So gases can escape out, but oxygen can't get into the ferment. And this just makes it so amazingly easy to just stick the thing on the jar and walk away, and I don't have to burp it. I don't have to monitor it. I don't have to look at it, though I do like looking at it, and I do check that it's fermenting, but this is really cool. So I will link to Heather's playlist, and in one or more of those videos is the link to where you can buy these.